Hi everyone, this is Abhinav from Phone Bunch, and today we are unboxing the brand new Redmi 2, which is actually an update over the previous gen Redmi 1S in every facet that you can imagine. Now this will be available come March 24th from Flipkart for Rs 6,999, and it comes with a 4.7-inch fully laminated HD IPS display. You have Asahi Dragontrail glass for protection. You have a Snapdragon 410 quad-core processor powering it. It's a 64-bit chipset. You have 4G LTE support on both SIM cards. You have 1 GB RAM and 8 GB ROM. You have 8 megapixel rear and 2 megapixel front camera, and this time around a larger 2200 mAh battery as well. So this is the Redmi 2 here. You have the white back, black front, same as the Redmi Notes. Now here's your documentation. So you have your information booklet, you have your user manual right there, and warranty statement as well. Keeping that aside, let's get into it further. You can see you have your USB wall charger right here, and it's rated at 1 ampere. Next up, you have the micro USB data syncing and charging cable. Now, quality accessories here from Xiaomi, and you don't get a headset this time around also within the box. Cost cutting measures greatly appreciated. At least they do keep the cost down for the overall device. And here's the 2200 mAh battery. Now folks, this is the brand new Redmi 2. It's thinner, it's lighter, and feels a lot better in your hand. On the left there's nothing. At the top, 3.5 audio jack. On the right you have the power lock and unlock button and volume rocker, both sturdy, offer good feedback. They're metallic. You have a space to open the back cover right there. At the bottom you have the micro USB data syncing charging port and the primary microphone as well. Now if you move to the back, you have the LED flash, 8 megapixel rear camera, and you have the speaker grill right there. I'll just remove that flap later on. You have a secondary noise cancellation mic up top, and you have the Mi branding at the bottom. The back has a very nice matte finish to it. It feels great to hold. The sides are more rounded this time around, again leading to better grip and greater ergonomics. So let's open up the back cover now. In itself too, the back cover is quite solid. There is not much flex there. So good overall build. There's the 8 megapixel camera with BSI sensor. You have 2 micro SIM card slots and a micro SD card slot on the left, which can take up to 32 gigs of storage. So now let me just put in the battery and then we'll power on the phone for the very first time. So you have 4G LTE support on both the SIM cards. You can use either one. There's not much of a camera hump there. You can see that. Overall, this device does feel really solid in the hand. Now let's boot it up. You can see it has begun booting up. Let me just remove this plastic information sheet from right up top. Now in the front you have a new 2 megapixel camera. That's an upgrade over the previous gen. Proximity and light sensors, earpiece. Capacitive buttons just below the display which don't light up. A 4.7-inch HD IPS display clad in Asahi Dragontrail glass which doesn't scratch. And you have a fully laminated display, so the distance between the touchscreen and the front panel is relatively very less. So folks, now we have booted up and you can see MIUI 6 running on the new Redmi 2 right from the start. Great looking interface. It's a great enhancement overall over MIUI 5. Here's a notification shade. Let's get into settings now. In about, you can see this is running Android 4.4.4 KitKat with MIUI 6 on top. Now Snapdragon 410 powers this smartphone. It's a quad core at 1.2 GHz, 1 GB of RAM, and you have 4.5 gigs available out of the 8 GB ROM. You can expand that with a micro SD card. USB OTG is also supported. Let me just show that to you. So I've just plugged it in and you can see that it has been mounted now. So let me just jump into it. And you can see, you can access that. Now I'll just play a 1080p video directly from the USB storage and plays flawlessly. Now the colors do look very nice on this display as well. Now some MIUI features, you do have a notification LED just below the home capacitive button. You can see it right there, glowing. Now you have two kinds of notifications available here. So you can either use pop-up notifications that come over the lock screen also, and you have in the notification shade, so you can disable or enable them for different applications based on your choice. Now you have the do not disturb mode which works wonderfully well here. You can set a time in it as well. You can customize what the buttons actually do. So let's say long press, you want the back button to open Google now, and you can just simply do that. Now you can use the volume buttons also to wake up the device, and I found that very useful on other Mi handsets as well. By long tapping on the home button, you can activate the flashlight directly from your lock screen. No need to unlock your device there. Now let's come to the launcher. This is a default MIUI 6 launcher. You have folders to organize here. Now you don't have a separate app drawer, but you do have widget support. So you can go ahead and add different widgets on any of the home screens of your choosing. Now you can go ahead and customize effects of the home screens as well. So you can go ahead and choose the different animation that you want. And animations are actually pretty slick on this device. And here's your notification shade. You have your music player right up top and settings button at the bottom. Now at present you have about 250 odd MB of RAM free. Now you can go ahead and see the thumbnails of the open apps as well. And this is new in MIUI 6. You can go ahead and lock apps if you don't want them to be killed, or you can simply swipe these away or kill all tasks. Now you get an 8 megapixel rear camera with BSI sensor. You have HDR mode. A good handheld twilight mode is also available. You do have manual controls too. Touch to focus is also available and it works quite well. And you have several new filters that come as part of the new MIUI app. You do also have a 2 megapixel front facing camera, which is pretty decent. Now let me just take a shot. Now color reproduction from this camera is actually pretty good. And the image actually looks sharp as well. We'll definitely check out the camera in much greater detail. So stay tuned for our camera review later on. Now in the front you have a 4.7-inch display clad in Asahi Dragontrail glass. And the display has great viewing angles and good color reproduction as well. You can see right here, colors look bright. It's a very bright display as well. Moreover, the touch response is excellent. I can see that there is no backlight bleed and there is no distortion in brightness of colors even when we are tilting the phone at extreme angles. Now this is the default Google keyboard. You also have Swift key and Flex key pre-installed. And you can see right here we have loaded our mobile website and scrolling is a breeze. There is no stuttering, there is no lag here. And even in our full website, I don't notice any lag whatsoever. Pinch to zoom works fine as well. Now images and text reflow very quickly as well. And this is a very sharp display. I don't notice any pixelation in text. Even in terms of general use, you won't notice any lag. The animations are slick. I haven't noticed any dropped frames, at least in animations. We'll check out more in our gaming. Apps open up quickly as well. You can see that right here. Multitasking is pretty quick as well. The touch response remains excellent. Now the biggest competition. Here's the new Moto E and the Redmi 2. The Redmi 2 running Android 4.4 with MIUI 6 and the Moto E running Android Lollipop, stock Android Lollipop, that too right out of the box. So there are pretty much no similarities between these devices apart from the price point. Now even with the larger display, the Redmi 2 actually weighs in less. It has a better 8 megapixel camera while you have a 5 megapixel on the Moto E. You can see that the Moto E is definitely a bit smaller. It has a smaller display. You have a larger battery on the Moto E. Now in terms of ergonomics, the Moto E definitely feels a bit better to use, better grip as well. Now in terms of specifications, you get a quad-core Snapdragon 410 on the Redmi 2, while the Moto E just makes do with the Snapdragon 200. But even with the Snapdragon 200, the Moto E actually performs quite well. But I do miss the LED flash there and I do miss backlit buttons on the Redmi 2. The display on the Redmi 2 also seems a lot better. We'll be comparing both of these phones in depth later on. Now let's wrap everything up. The new Redmi 2 is a comprehensive, huge update over the previous gen Redmi 1S, and that warrants a 1000 rupees increase in price as well. You have theme support baked in here too. You can go ahead and install themes, customize the MIUI 6 interface very easily. Now this phone is performing quite well. I haven't noticed any lag. Moreover, the display looks pretty good here. The animations are slick, better build quality this time around, 8 megapixel rear and 2 megapixel front camera. Now you have 4G LTE support on both the SIM cards and not just one. So the biggest competition here is the Moto E and the Lenovo A6000. But for now, the Redmi 2 is definitely the one to look out for in this price segment. We'll be back with more. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Any questions at us in the comment section. Thanks for watching. As always, have a great day. Do stay tuned to phonebuzz.com for the latest in mobile technology.